Hi everyone, it's Karen here from Karen's Creation Scrapbooking. Today we're going to make this really cute lantern card. Okay, so I cut the lantern from my Cricut machine. This is Heartfelt Creations Stamp and Die poinsettia set, and the white snowflake is a punch, and then I cut out the blue snowflakes with the Cricut inside the rectangle. Okay, so we're gonna put it together. I do have kits available at the store. So I'm gonna show you how I did it with inks. If you don't have inks, you can color the poinsettia in with pencil crayons, okay? But we're gonna shape pencil crayons or whatever kind of ink you have. If you have watercolor paints or whatever, you can do that as well. Okay, so what I'm gonna start with is the brown piece of paper. And I did distress the edge a little bit, so we're gonna start with that. I just take my scissors, or if you have a paper distresser, you can go along the edge with your paper distresser. Just to be very careful, okay? You don't wanna rip your piece of paper in half. You can also use your nail to make the indentation on the edges to make it look distressed. Okay, so I have a little bit of distressing going on. I'm going to take my string, I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm just going to take a little bit of tape and put some tape on the top side of the paper. And then I'm just going to put my string down and pull it apart on the sides. I just like to have the string come off a little bit wider than normal. Okay, and now I'm going to put it on my card. Now I like to use glue for that, just so I know it stays. As long as it comes out, we're golden. Maybe I'll try this bottle. I haven't used my glue in a couple of days. There we go. And I usually leave the pin out, so it dries up on me quickly sometimes. Okay. So we're gonna put that on our card base. And just make sure you have your string coming out at the top. You just gotta hold that for a second. So everybody's brown piece of paper is gonna look a little different because it is a pattern piece of paper, and it's not the same all the way around. Okay, I should have a tag here. So your tag is in this little baggie, and be careful because there's a couple of rhinestones in there you don't want to lose. So you're going to take the tag out and the candle, but leave those little rhinestones in there. They're for your snowflakes. Okay, so I'm going to take the tag. I can put a little bit of ink on it, on the edges if I wanted to. You can take a pencil crayon and go along the edges with it. Give it a little color like this if you don't have ink. And we're just going to put it through the hole. And I'm going to tie it at the top. If you can't tie a bow, just get somebody else to help you. Sometimes it's easier to get somebody to help you. Okay, so then I'm just going to pull my string so my loops aren't as big and tighten it up. And I put the tag through my left side of the string, okay? I'm just going to cut off a little bit excess there. Okay, so now we have our candle, and what we're going to do is it has a little runoff from the candle, so we just got to get the right side where it lines up. You can all see that. Glue that down. And I'm just going to leave my candle white, so it's just going to be a layer on top of a layer. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the bottom of the yellow part and stick the candle on top. Oh, I have something on my fingers that's making my candle a little dark, giving it spots. Okay, so now we have our candle and we have our lantern. So you also have, we're gonna make a shadow, it's a shaker inside this. Okay, so you have a piece of plastic, and what you're going to do is put a line of glue around the hole on the one side and put the piece of plastic on that spot. Now if it doesn't line up, just cut a little bit off there. Okay. This is just to hold the little shaker parts inside. Okay, so we have to line up this candle. And if you don't want it to be a shaker, that's okay. What you can do is just glue this down right on top and it'll just look like a candle, a lantern with a candle in it. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue my candle, maybe about there, just to the card base. So I'll put a little bit of glue under the candle, like so. Okay. So to make it a shaker, you're going to need some foam tape. Some of you might have some foam tape in your bag. So what we're going to do is just peel off one side of the foam tape, little bits at a time, and put it on the blue part of the back side of the lantern. Okay, so we're going to put them down both sides. And so we have to make a rectangle so that the shaker part will stay in the holes. Like all these little bits we're going to put in. There's little bits of snowflakes and sequins. Okay. So you can see I'm making a box. little too high, it went off. So I'm just gonna have to cut it. There. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of foam tape there as well, because when we stick it down on the card, I want it to stay popped up. So I'm just gonna put it like that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is take all these little bits, the sequins and everything, and we're going to place them on top of the candle. I don't want, oh, I didn't glue down my candle good enough, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the top of the candle. Okay, so there's all the sequins in there. And now what we're going to do is take off all of the backing on the foam tape. And we're going to flip it over and stick it down on our card. Okay, and make sure that it sticks. And now you have a little shaker. Okay, and now we have to decorate the card with the poinsettia. So we're going to color the poinsettia. So you can color it in with pencil crayons, like I said, or if you have inks like I do, you can ink it. So I use speckled egg and chipped sapphire. I'm just going to quickly color it in. I just used 2 of the poinsettia flowers. Yellow on that. This is fossilized amber, so you're just going to color it in. And so I'm going to put a little bit of dark blue on the poinsettia. So how I do that is I just go in the center, a little dark blue, and then you can go around the edges to get all that white off. So it looks a little variegated. Oop, wrong color. Okay, there you have it. And now I just need a little bit of green. Hi. Don't know if that's green or not. It's a little bit green, a little bit blue. Okay. So now what you're going to do is shape it. So we have our shaping mat. If you have a piece of foam or a mouse pad or something that's a little bit foamy, you can use that. Forgot my little tool, so I'm gonna grab it. So what you need is a water bottle, and you're just gonna spritz the back with water. And if you have a little shaping tool, you can curl the back, just pounce it or rub the petals. If you don't have a shaping tool, You can use the rounded end of a pencil. Some of the pencil crayons have a rounded end, kind of like that. There's a rounded end. You can always use that in a pinch. This is a little bit harder to use. So now you're going to flip it over and curl it up. And the same thing with this poinsettia. And a leaf. So I'm going to go on the vine of the leaf first, and I'm going to flip it over and pounce the edges. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my 2 fingers and squish it together. And I'm going to let that dry. And now you have the 2 centered, the yellow centers. And you're just going to curl them back. So they're curled up towards you. And then when you flip them over, push them in the center. Okay, now to glue it together, just going to put some glue in the middle and alternate the petal leaves. And the same thing with the yellow. We're going to put the yellow in, alternate the petal leaves. And then we're just going to squish it in a little bit so that you don't see the center. Okay, and now we're ready to add it to our card. And I'm just going to set it right on the corner of the lantern. And then the leaves, I'm going to just set it right onto the paper underneath the petals. Okay, and you have 1 snowflake at the top corner and the other blue snowflake over here with a white one in the center. And remember to alternate the snowflake. Okay, so we have 2 rhinestones. Now this might be tricky to put on. Try not to lose them. I have a little tool for this, but it is somewhere. Okay, so we're just going to put little glue dots in the center. If you flip them over so that it's facing up, you can pick it up. If you rub your fingers together, you can pick it up. Make your fingers a little warm. You can pick it up, okay, and then stick it down. And there you have it. Your very own lantern shaker card. Thank you for watching and have a great day.